Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Duncan here from today. Let's break some time. Pause. Today I'm going to be reviewing what I'm going to call the Velocitron bundle, where we're going to be reviewing Transformers Cybertron Override, Transformers Cybertron Blurr, and Transformers Cybertron Shattered Glass Elita One. I mean, Transformers Cybertron GTS Override. Now, I just want to make a quick thank you to Bart again for supplying the GTS Override and Blurr. And we're going to start with Blurr. Save these two for last. So this is Blurr. He is a retool slight update of his Armada mold. And as you can see, he's a very interesting boy. He's got his Autobot symbol on the chest here that is unfortunately fading away. And he's a very lovely figure, even with this clear plastic. And I will get onto that clear plastic in a moment. Going around, he's only got one gun, because unfortunately, again, Bart, who supplied these figures that I'm reviewing, minus the Cybertron Override, that's mine, unfortunately lost it. And I mean, from 2006 to now, you know, just over 10 years. Just give me a moment. There. So, Blurr's articulation, his head is on a swivel joint. His arms can only go forward, or can go in and out due to transformation. They've got a double bend at the elbow, nothing at the hand. Now, one thing I do want to point out is this clear plastic is broken up here and on the shoulder bits. So, that's unfortunately due to clear plastic, being clear plastic. Nothing at the waist. His legs can go out that far. You'd think they can bend, but no. They can swivel at the bicep and nothing at the knees. And only a little bit of toe tiltage just because of transformation. Now he does, like all Cybertron mode figures, have a Cyber key, Planet key. This thing. And you basically plug in your Cyber Planet key, and it pops off the side here, dropping his gun, which is now on the floor. Yep. Now his gun can tab into his very interestingly shaped hands. And now it can go pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang. So, to transform him, first of all, fold up these. Fold his arms up and then bend them so they're like that. Then on the same time, bring down leave the shoulders up. Mainly just because these bits are in the way. Second verse, much like the first, fold and bend. Fold in the heel spurs. Fold up the feet. And then push both legs in. Rip off his waist plate. Connect his waist plate and then collapse everything together. Fold up what becomes the windshield. Fold up his arms. Push down on the shoulders to get them aligned. Sit smoothly. Fold up these two panels onto the side here. Tab the arms together. Fold down the windshield. And then you've got Blurr in his Cybertronian car mode. Make sure these are flushed down. And it's a very interesting car mode, considering that it is literally an updated mold of his Armada mold, from 2002. And it's alright. I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's very interesting. Well, it's pretty well. I do quite like the colours. And of course, yes, you can take the Cyber Planet key and plug it in his butthole, and it would pop these two off. What I like doing is putting these down, and you get a third jet mode of sorts. Now we get on to the main topic of review, by the way. Weapon storage. Just fold it, put it in the back here, and bam, there you go. The main review is Override and her GTS counterpart. Now, I do want to share some interesting facts before we get on to this. This mold was actually used for Shattered Glass Elita One. As a result, which is awesome in the comics, check out Chris McFarlane's videos on the Shattered Glass, because he talks about the use of, well, essentially other Transformers for Shattered Glass counterparts. But yes, Override is a very interesting figure. She, and yes, it is a she, is the leader of Velocitron. And she, throughout the anime, supported this really nice red and white and black and gold color scheme. This was for a upgrade that never got into the show, like GTS Ransack. And throughout the show, she was constantly paired up with the human girl, as she called her little sister. And of course, towards the end of the show, she helped fight an incident and lost her right to Hotshot, the Hotshot figure I reviewed quite a bit. Getting a bit of close here on to the standard figure, which is a Voyager, I do believe. She's a very, very chonk lady. I mean, even in the show, she was chonk. It's a pretty good figure. I do say so myself. Yep. Unfortunately, this figure does not have her gun. So when we will be going into the Cyberplanet key, we will be talking more onto the GTS, which leads us to this. So this is a what would have been an upgrade, potential upgrade for her in the show, but of course we're going to actually say that this is for the review GTS Elita One. Well, not GTS, Shadow Glass Elita One. As you can see, she doesn't have an Autobot symbol like her counterpart does. And it's a very good looking figure. And of course they changed the white to grey, the red they darkened down, they've replaced the gold, and instead of having gold and all that, it's got silver, black, green, and red, and it's a very lovely figure. Now, weapons-wise, this is for both figures. If you unfold on the back here, and tab out this cassette-looking thing, you get Elita's guns. Well, their guns, and this is where the Autobot symbol is. You basically take your Cyberplanet key, and there's your blasters. And this post here will fit in her hand, like so, and now she can go pew pew bang bang. We're just going to take the gun off to the side for now. Articulation wise, on the same figures, the heads are very, very restricted on the joints here. Arms can do a full 360, then go in and out, bend at the elbow, it's very tight. She's like, yeah. Nothing at the waist due to transformation. Her legs can go out that far. You can see a bit of cracking up here on the joint, I've just noticed that. Her legs can go forward that far, back that far. Interesting knee, and of course a little bit of ankle tiltage due to transformation. Which is what we're going to get into on both figures, because both figures do have a very interesting elements. First of all, you want to untab everything that folds up to the back here and fold the head up like so. You come to the waist, you rotate it down. Bring this part up, rotate legs around, fold the feet in, because this tab is going to go into that slot. Second verse, much like the first. Fold the arms in. Just making sure everything is staying lined up. And then bring the cockpit forward, and that will tab in. And then you basically take her blaster, fold down, and I like to fold out the film. And there is GTS Elita One in her vehicle mode. And the second verse, much like the first, you fold everything up and in. You rotate this down. Now I did do this with the Victor Primes. I showed off both alt modes. I didn't really talk about them as much as they're the same. And the same is to be said about any of the GTS counterparts for Cybertron. A lot of them are essentially just, hey, we're just a recolor of the other figures. And here you have Elita Override in her vehicle mode. Now, as you can see, that this is where the blaster would go, but unfortunately mine does not have it. And it's a very nice futuristic Cybertronian car. It rolls quite well, as you can hear. So it's some pretty nice things. But this goes to show you just how much a little paint makes differently. This is speed. This looks like it's something from Mad Max. Overall, all in all, I have to say, if you do like the Cybertronian Override figures, I would suggest getting her. Now, one thing I do want to mention about these and the other cars are in it, and especially in Cybertron, is it really depends on what comes down to. Your mileage may varies. But yeah, that has been Cybertron Override, Cybertron GTS Override, or Shadow Glass Elita One, And Cybertronian Blur, I've been Duncan ever since you and Superior, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!